Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's up, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. In the first episode of the Oras season of Pokémon DataDex, we covered the one and only Mega Ampharos, the mascot of LumioseStation, and I asked you guys to vote between two Pokémon. For this week, we had Breloom and we had Swellow. Breloom came out on top, the grass fighting type, so that's who we're going to be focusing on in this episode. For next week though, guys, obviously we have to have another vote, and we have two water types here, guys, both exclusive to the home region, or introduced in the home region rather. We have Wishcash and we have Crawdaunt. Two, you could say version exclusives, since they are next to each other, or version exclusive counterparts. They're next to each other in the decks, and they both have sort of similar evolutionary lines. So Wishcash, the water ground type, or Crawdaunt, the water dark type. Let me know which one you want to see down below in the comment section by commenting Wishcash or Crawdaunt. Anyway, let's get on to covering Breloom for today. So Breloom, as I mentioned, is a grass fighting type. It's the mushroom Pokemon and is number 286 in the National Pokedex. It stands at 3 foot 11 inches tall rather, or 1.2 meters tall, and weighs 86.4 pounds or 39.2 kilograms. It's in the fairy for some reason and grass egg groups, and the male-female split is equal at 50-50. Evolution-wise, Breloom will start from Shroomish, starting at level 23, so it's fairly early evolving, and Breloom is actually a pretty powerful Pokemon to have on your team. So if you're still playing through Oras or planning to play through it again, or whatever, you could use a Breloom on your team. It's very, very helpful actually. Base stat-wise for Breloom, we have health points are 60, attack is its highest base stat at 130, defense is 80, special attack is 60, special defense is 60, and speed is 70. So you can see that, its attack is definitely its highest stat. That's where it's best in. It's got a really, really powerful high attack stat. Its defense is next down there, then it's speed. Speed is fast, but not amazingly fast, so you do have to watch out for that. And then we have health points, special attack and special defense down at 60. We're not going to be using special attack, so that's really not too much of a worry there, but special defense maybe being a bit low, same with health points, isn't really going to help out Breloom too much. Ability wise for Breloom, it has 3 abilities available for it, 2 basic and 1 hidden ability. One of its basic abilities is Effectable, which means contact may poison or cause paralysis or sleep. So it's a very annoying ability to be facing against Shroomish in a Mega Ralph Sapphire, because your Pokemon often do get poisoned or paralyzed or even fall asleep. But in terms of competitive, it is not really that helpful compared to the other 2 abilities. One of which is Poison Heal, which restores health points if the Pokemon is poisoned. A very popular choice for Breloom here because it's very good health restoration, especially when paired with Leech Seed or Leftovers, but Leftovers not too often because Poison Heal has some sort of loopholes, I guess, which we'll explore later on in competitive sets. But then the hidden ability for Breloom is Technician, which powers up its weaker moves. Again, a very good ability actually, because Breloom has its moveset is not brilliant in terms of powerful moves. It's not an amazing powerful moveset, whereas it has a very good coverage in terms of lower base power, and Technician actually helps that up. So sometimes if you've got Technician and you're using a weak ability, a weak move, as say 60 base power, that might be more powerful than any move that's got, for example, 80 base power. So it's really just how you use the ability to advantage. So Breloom's abilities are actually pretty good. It's got some pretty good and awesome abilities available to it there. So now if we want to look at Breloom's typing, it is a grass fighting type, as I mentioned, which means it has some pretty split typing and sort of resistances and whatnot. Resistances, it resists 6 types. I can't count apparently, even though I am very related to mathematical and logic or whatever. 6 resistances: grass, water, electric, rock, ground and dark type moves. 6 weaknesses: fire, flying, poison, psychic, ice and fairy type moves. And it then takes neutral from 6 types: normal, fighting, bug, ghost, dragon and steel. So very split there, very equal. In terms of this typing, I like it. However, it sort of lacks in the fact that it's 4 times weak to flying, so that's not brilliant really. And then fire is a pretty common type. Psychic's fairly common as well, so you really have to watch out for that. But it does resist a lot of types. Grass and water are very good, for example. Same with electric. It allows you to switch in on a good few moves, or to allow at least just take a move. However, with your lower defenses, you can't really rely on that too much, so you have to rely more on sort of just basic stuff, if you guys get what I mean there. So it's got a reasonably good typing, but you know, watch out for the flying types definitely, because those will completely destroy your balloon with that low defense stat or that fairly low special defense stat, whichever type they are. So then, looking at the moves available to Breloom, it has a very good moveset actually. I do like Breloom as a Pokemon, and it has very good moves it can use alongside those. So we have first up Leech Seed. Now, the reason there are 2 levels of this here is because there are some moveset changes in the Mega Green Sapphire. For example, here we have the X and Y listed on the left hand side, and then Auras listed on the right hand side. So in X and Y, obviously Shroomish would learn Leech Seed level 13, but in Auras it learns at level 8 instead. So that's that. Leech Seed is very good. It's either an alternative or an extra health point recovery alongside Poison Heal if you're using that, or it's just a good, you know, bit of health recovery you could set up on defensive Pokemon, even though they could just switch out, which is a downside to Leech Seed. But you know, it's a reasonably good move, especially if you're going for a defensive Breloom set, which of course we'll cover in the competitive sets. Then at level 23, no change between the games here, just level 23, we have Mark Punch. Not really a powerful fighting type move, but it has priority, which is the main thing about it, which allows you to outspeed, and especially with Breloom's reasonably low speed stat. It's not amazingly high, but it's not amazingly low either. But obviously Mark Punch could help you pull through and wipe out a Pokemon, if depending on where their health point's at, or if they're a weak Pokemon, it could maybe even just want to kill it, depending on the Pokemon of course, but if they were faster they might be able to hit you first, so Mark Punch is always a viable move to hold. Then we have Force Palm, either level 29 or level 28, 29 in X and Y, and 28 in Auras. Force Palm is a more powerful fighting type move, however it doesn't have priority, but it can cause paralysis, so that is a good side effect for it. However, it's not a reliable side effect, but Force Palm is good in terms of power. It's not an amazingly powerful move, but it is good, especially when paired with Technician, because I do believe it gets the Technician boost. Then, next up we have Seed Bomb, a pretty darn powerful grass type move that's either learned at level 41 in X and Y, or slightly later on actually in Auras at level 44. Physical, as I said, is very powerful. This is going to be one of your main stabs. We have another alternative for grass type moves later on, but a good main stab to have here. I do like Seed Bomb as a move. I think it doesn't have 100% accuracy, but when it does hit, it does a lot of power, so that's always a good thing to watch out for there. Then we have a move here learnt at level 45 or level 40, depending on the game, and it's actually learnt as a Shroomish. So if you do want this move, you have to keep your Shroomish as a Shroomish, rather than evolving it, before you learn this move. So it's learnt at level 45, so level in X and Y, but it's probably just easier to do it Auras now. Level Shroomish at level 40, learn Spore, evolve it, and you can still get Seed Bomb if you want. In terms of other moves, it might learn some of the other moves. Like, obviously, well, it learns Leech Seed anyway before it evolves, but Mark Punch and Force Palm might not necessarily be learned by Shroomish, so you have to sort of weigh it up there. But I think you can go back and heart scale the moves anyway. It's a bit tricky. I can never really remember if you can do it or not, but I think you can, so it's not too bad there. Then again, the set you're going for, you might need to do those moves anyway. But then we have, moving on to the TMs, we have, well actually anyway, I should talk about what Spore does. That would be helpful. Spore actually puts the opponent to sleep, so it's actually quite a good move to have there, because it sort of acts as the ability effect Spore, but it's more just, I guess, like, you can actually do it. So that's quite good there. It puts it to sleep, so that allows you to then sort of, depending on the set obviously, allows you to either just do damage, or allows you to set up on them, or allows you to get some stuff set up, or whatever is actually going on the set there. Then moving on to the TMs, we're starting off with TM17 Protect. This is going to protect you for a turn and stop any damage being done to you, and will be used on, I think, the defensive set in a minute, so we'll talk more about how it's used there, because really you can't really use it on a defensive set. There's no point in using Protect on a defensive set. There's no point in using Protect at all unless there's a reason behind it, unless you're just trying to be a really annoying person to the opponent, which please don't do that. Then we have TM39 Rock Tomb, so no stab here, but Rock Tomb is a reasonably powerful rock type move. Obviously it's usually given to you as a TM at one of the first gyms, so in Auras you will get it from Roxanne after beating her, and Rock Tomb does damage as well as lowering the opponent's speed. Now, as we know, I've said several times, Breloom doesn't have the fastest speed, so a speed drop will indeed help you, and will most likely, depending on the Pokemon of course, one speed drop will make you faster than them, which is going to help you out for the rest of the battle. So, say they can take you out in 2 turns, okay? Say you can take them out in 2 turns, but they're faster. If you use that first turn to go for the Rock Tomb, you're going to be faster, and you should be able to outspeed and, you know, take them out there. So, you need to think about in terms of this. The speed drop can be useful in some cases. Then we have TM71 Stone Edge, an alternative to Rock Tomb, very, very powerful Rock Tomb move, much powerful than Rock Tomb, but the lower accuracy, and there's no speed drop, so that's really just going for the pure power there, so it's up to you which one you decide to use. Then we have TM90 Substitute, which can be used with Poison Heal and Leech Seed and Protect, as we'll look at in a minute, to do actually some, you know, some I guess reasonable help out. I don't know, I'll explain it better when we're on the competitive sets. Right now it's just sort of going over the moves. Then after the TMs we have, first up, Drain Punch, which can either be gotten as an Egg move, a Dex Nav move, or a Tutor move in ORAS. I think it is available as a Dex Nav move, since all Dex Nav moves are Egg moves, so you can get it during your normal ORAS playthrough to my knowledge, but also you can use a Tutor anyway if you need to. But Drain Punch is a very powerful fighting type move, and that actually helps you absorb damage from the opponent as well, which is pretty darn good, because compare that with, sort of, not compare, but combine that with Leech Seed and Poison Heal, you've got a lot of health restoration there, so it's a very, very good move for the Breloom. I almost said Shroomish then, for Breloom to have, rather. Then we have another Egg move. I don't think this is available as a Dex Nav move, and it's definitely not available as a Tutor move. We have Bullet Seed, which is a lower power grass type move, and it's a 2 to 5 turn move, as very similar to Fury Attack and such. But because of the lower power, Technician applies to it, which boosts up the power of Bullet Seed. So that actually makes it a bit more of a viable move, and obviously it's the alternative to Seed Bomb. Because if you're using Technician, you don't really want to be using Seed Bomb. So that's Bullet Seed there, and that's it for the highlighted moves. So let's now move on to the competitive sets. So the first set we're looking at for Breloom is basically a Technician set, okay? I had to think about it then, I was like, which one is it? Okay, it's a Technician set. So, the moveset is going to be Force Palm, Mark Punch, Bullet Seed, Rock Tomb, and then Spore. Ability is Technician, Nature is the jolly one here, and then held items are Focus Sash or a Life Orb. And EVs are putting maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in defense. So, moveset first up, Force Palm, Mark Punch is your good job, Matt, good job. Anyway, Force Palm or Mark Punch is your basic fighting type stab move. They both get a Technician boost. Force Palm has base power 60, Mark Punch has base power 40, I think. So they're both going to get boosted up. Force Palm is going to be higher base power overall, however Mark Punch gives you priority. So really, whichever one you use here is up to you. It's dependent on what you want to play with, whether you want to have priority or whether you want to have power, okay? Then we have Bullet Seed as our grass type stab. As I said just now, it's a lower power, so it means it's going to get a Technician boost. So that's quite helpful there. Rock Tomb is base power 60 as well, so again that's going to get Technician boost, and it's going to help you with the speed drop too. And finally we have Spore, because it's always a good job, especially because we have Focus Sash as a held item, or possibly as a held item. We could Spore first turn, put them to sleep, and then you got an extra turn to do whatever you want, because they're not going to be, they're going to have to switch, or they're going to have to try and wake up. So you've got at least 1 or 2 turns to do something there. Nature is jolly because we need to boost up that speed stat as much as possible. You could go for Adamant and just rely on Mark Punch, but then the Ghost types are going to be a thing, so really it's weighing out the options there. I put Life Orb here as a held item because if you want to go just all out, complete suicide with Breloom here, that's another possibility. Again, Mark Punch is going to give you priority, so you're going to get at least 1 attack off there as long as they're not a Ghost type. But you could go for the Spore first up, and then maybe, you know, Spore him, and then you got Life Orb, just give him all the power. You are going to lose health from it, so you are going to die eventually, but it will be powerful. It will be powerful, so I'd probably use a Focus Sash though, just get that free Spore off, hopefully. Spore doesn't have 100% accuracy, but you'd hope most of the time you would hit a Spore. So you get the 1 Spore off, and then you got some more turns to just do damage, so assuming of course they do actually take you out on the first turn. If not, the Focus Sash is not going to activate at all, which is fine because it's going to activate another point, unless of course they don't take you out in 1 hit, but that's all dependent on other things. So that's really the Technician set there in terms of Focus Sash, Spore, strategies and whatnot. So then if we move on to the second set, which is the defensive set for Breloom here. Moveset is going to be Leech Seed, Substitute, Protect, and then Focus Punch or Drain Punch. Ability is Poison Heal, Nature is Impish, and held items are Toxical. EVs are maximum attack, maximum defense, and the rest in speed. So first up, I want to talk about the ability. The ability is Poison Heal, which heals you up when you're poisoned, so instead of doing damage to you, it's going to heal you up. However, if you're going to use this ability and not use a Toxic Orb, it's only going to work if you get poisoned, so can you really rely on that? You say, oh yeah, they're definitely going to poison me at some point in this match. You can't rely on that. It might not happen for 5 matches, you know? So Toxic Orb there is to ensure you get poisoned, and it's going to poison you, I think, after the first turn you're in battle, and you're going to start restoring some health points from there. However, it does, of course, mean you can't use any other items, so that kind of sucks there. I mean, if you had leftovers as well there, and were able to consistently poison yourself, maybe if you were in doubles, maybe if you used it as a doubles matchup and you had your opponent poison you, or not your opponent, your ally poison you, you'd be able to get leftovers restoration, poison heal restoration, and leech seed restoration all on the same turn, which would be pretty powerful, to be honest, because then obviously they would have to try and take you on one turn to kill you, which is fairly easy for Breloom, but to be honest. But then if we look at the moveset, leech seed, obviously if you get leech seed set, that's going to be very helpful because that's going to help the restoration as well as poison heal. Substitute is what you really want to try and get set up here because of our last move, or the possible for our last move, which is focus punch. So that's definitely going to help you out, because if you're behind a sub, you get a free focus punch pretty much, because focus punch, you focus at the start of the turn, then if they hit you, you lose your focus and you don't get to use the move. However, if you're behind a substitute, they hit the substitute. Even if they get rid of the substitute, you can still use your focus punch, and focus punch is a very powerful move, so really it's something to watch out for there. The alternative there is drain punch, and that's going to help you get even more health point restoration. Trouble with this sort of strategy here is because the only attacking move you have is a fighting type move, which means ghosts are going to counter you completely. Well, not completely. I mean, you could leech seed them and just wait them out, but that is not really going to work brilliantly well. You could possibly switch the protect out for a grass type move, for a seed bomb or a bullet seed, depending on what you wanted, or a rock tomb possibly. But protect is there because of the fact that, you know, it would be powerful. You'd have, you know, substitute protect. It would take them a while, and you'd have so much health point restoration going on with leech seed and toxic orb every single turn. And then obviously if you're carrying drain punch, that's even more when you actually have to attack, and then you can just drain punch protect, and it's going to get quite annoying for the opponent if they can't take out your sub in time, sort of thing. So that's something there. EV is maximum attack and defense, because we're using an impish nature here, which is going to boost our physical defense and lower our special attack. Because obviously we know our physical defense is higher than our special defense, so we're focusing on a physically defensive set here rather than specially. So special moves are going to do more damage to you, especially since we're not actually investing any EVs in them. So that's something to watch out for here. You're mainly going for physical defensive Pokemon, or physically attacking Pokemon rather. EVs, yeah, maximum attack just to get them all the power there, maximum defense for the defense, and then maximum, or not maximum speed, resting speed just to get a bit more of a speed boost. You could possibly go for maximum health points, maximum defense just to get a bit more bulk as well, and then put rest in attack, but it's up to you. But that's really it for the defensive set there, and of course the first set as well. But let's move on to the second two sets for Breloom. The first one here is a Poison Heal set, so again using Poison Heal and Toxic Orb, but it's not really focusing on defense, it's focusing on attacking, with having the Poison Heal there just to sort of give you some health and restoration. First up we have, as the moveset, Drain Punch, Seed Bomb, Leech Seed, and then Substitute or Protect. Ability is Poison Heal as I mentioned, Nature's time is Jolly instead of Impish, and then held item again as a Toxic Orb. EVs this time going maximum attack and speed, and then putting the rest in defense instead. So, Drain Punch, that's going to be, we have Drain Punch rather than Focus Punch here because we're not necessarily going to be using a substitute, so we can't necessarily rely on Focus Punch to always hit. So Drain Punch it is, and that's obviously going to give us some more health point restoration as well. Seed Bomb because it's our most powerful grass type move, and we don't have to worry about Technician boost at all, so really we're just putting that there. Leech Seed because Leech Seed is always helpful if you get one set up there. You could, rather than Leech Seed, run a Stone Edge or a Rock Tomb, depending on what you wanted, but Leech Seed I've put there because it's really helpful, it's fairly helpful. You can use double health point restoration, so you've got the Poison Heal and the Leech Seed, and obviously Drain Punch as well. Then, finally we have Substitute or Protect. In terms of what you want here, you could try for the substitute, and then obviously you got that sort of going for you there, or you could go for protect, just to protect up pretty much every other turn and get some more health points back with the Poison Heal and the Leech Seed if they've managed to stay in on that, because that would be pretty annoying, to be honest guys, wouldn't it? You protect up, you're going to get some Poison Heal and some Leech Seed back to restore, depending on how much damage they're doing of course, you're going to restore a good bit there. Then you can use Drain Punch to take even more of the health points, and and then you can just protect again, and it sort of just goes on like that. It can be really quite an annoying Pokemon to actually face in battle, to be honest. But that's pretty much that there. That's I'd say a basic Poison Hail set rather than going all defensive. You could run you could run a Mark Punch over a Drain Punch just to get the priority off, or you could run it instead of Leech Seed or whatever. You could try and slot it in somewhere just to get some priority, just to dive in and deal some last hits somewhere, but it's up to you guys. Really try it out and see how it works for you. Then the last set for the one and only, the one and only Breloom, that's the one here, is this one here, which is again Poison Heal, but instead of we've had fully defensive Poison Heal, we've had basic Poison Heal, so now we're going fully offensive Poison Heal here. So the moveset is going to be Drain Punch, Stone Edge, Seed Bomb, and then either Spore or Substitute. Ability is going to be Poison Heal, Nature, Jolly, held item a Toxacorp, and the EVs are going maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in defense again. So here we're going just all out, fully attacking, 100% attacking. We have Spore or Substitute there, but that's because we don't get any extra moves sort of thing. Drain Punch is your most powerful fighting team move, excluding Focus Punch because we can't rely on that. Stone Edge, very powerful there, so definitely run that. Seed Bomb, run that too. Spore or Substitute, you could go for a Spore just to put them to sleep and then do all the power to them while they're asleep, or you could try for the Substitute and have the Poison Heal work behind the Substitute. Or indeed, you could get rid of both those moves and put a Mark Punch in there for the priority, just because you're not amazingly fast, so that you could definitely use that as a way there. Poison Heal ability, that's a given. Nature is Jolly again, just to boost up our speed as much as possible. You could run Adamant, possibly if you really want to try it out, but Jolly is probably preferred there. Held item Toxacorp just to poison us, and then EVs, again, maximum attack and speed, fast as possible, as powerful as possible, and then just boosting up our defense a little. There's really not a huge amount to say for this last set, to be honest, apart from it's just going to do as much damage as you can, and then you end up dying, pretty much. I mean, you don't want to die, but if you could try and not die with Substitute and Poison Heal. However, this time we're not looking to set up a Leech Seed. Drain Punch is going to help you restore some health points there, so it just depends on what opponent you're facing, because they can easily send in, I don't know, a Mega Pidgeot and then just completely destroy your Hurricane, because you'd have no chance there, especially since it's faster than you. And even though Stone Edge would be, the accuracy on Stone Edge would be countered by No Guard, you'd still be slower, which is the problem. So Breloom is a bit of a glass cannon, but it can be used defensively. It just can't be used defensively when you're also looking at it offensively. So you either have to go full defensive, or you just go full power, and then see what you get, guys. But that's pretty much it for Breloom this episode, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit the like button down below, and also vote for next week's Pokemon in the comment section, either Wishcash or Crawdaunt. Which one do you want to see me cover next week, guys? Let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, my friends.